the conversation sometimes, I don't know, like when I'm talking to the person who has more level, like maybe he is or she is advanced and I'm still intermediate, and then when we're talking, I feel I don't understand some of their words, and uh, but they have known about my level. So when they use their advanced words, I think I'm difficult to understand. So
Sure.
do you think they should, like use the words that people can understand them, or they it's okay for them to use the words, difficult words like advanced vocabularies that people might can't understand?
Sometimes we can't control what comes out of our mouth, especially a learner. Because and I'll tell you an interesting story. When I started teaching English, my language was very, how can I say, a lot of slang when I spoke. And then I had
Mm,
to develop it to make it simpler and easier for everyone to understand. Now,
mm,
I didn't go to university to study English, so my
mhm,
vocabulary range in terms of
mhm,
larger words was not as
mhm,
big as some other teachers, but it actually benefited me because more students understood what I said because my
mm,
language was simpler. Um,
mhm,
Once we add those extra vocabularies in, it's difficult to go backwards actually. Like I found sometimes when as I've started to learn more and more, like I've been doing this for 5 years and I've learned a lot in that time, the more words that come in, sometimes my
mhm,
vocabulary has began to alter. It's began to get more, how can I say, more advanced. Not on purpose,
mhm,
it's just because you're surrounded by the language all the time and learning all the time. That's the same as a learner. But then because I'm aware of it, I'm able to take a step back and think, whoa, 1 second, need to pause and then make it simple, a little simpler again, depending on the student. And I'm able to be aware of it. But as a learner, we're trying to push to be
mhm,
able to say as much advanced words as possible so it feels like we're learning. But it's not important, really, as long as both people understand the conversation. Now, for your position, I just suggest to be aware of as much vocabulary as possible, but don't worry about being able to use it. Just be aware and try to understand as many meanings as possible. This is the difficult part. Don't worry
mhm,
about using it just yet because you're speaking every day on this app, which is great.
mhm.
And the thing is, the more you
Oh,
intake here, eventually it's going to go, but it just takes time.
mhm,
You hear it more and you're like,
yeah.
suddenly I can use this. So, yeah,
Mhm,
don't push it. You'll be fine. Just it's patience. It's always patience.
okay, so it could be beneficial, not pressure to me, because sometimes
No
I'm like,
pressure
oh my
at
goodness.
all. Yeah. Don't if you feel like some you don't understand, because not everyone in the middle of a conversation is going to be aware, especially a non-teacher. If we're talking about people you're just talking to on the live stream, just always ask what did you say? What are you saying? Or something like this, yeah? Just always ask them the
Yeah.
question and then don't feel
Mm,
bad about yourself because you've learned something new. That's great. Yeah, so uh,
I,
keep doing what you're doing. What you're doing is perfect. I promise you.
yeah, I agree. Okay, I got it. Because sometimes I just think that they just want to show off, but as what you said, it's just, we can't control what will come out from our mouth. So yeah, it just
Mm.
happens,
It's
and
yeah,
I
it's not.
need to
It's
adjust.
I promise you, it's not intentional. And as learners, me
Mm,
too, with Japanese, we feel like the world is against us. That's what we kind of feel like. Everyone hates us because they come with language we don't know. But that's just
yeah.
us. That's where we're at on our journey, and they're in a different place. That's all. And
Mm-hmm.
you, whilst whilst you grab all this information, whilst it's all coming in, you won't remember everything, but over time you will. It's always about we say the long game, like long period of time. You've been going 6 years, but it's a little longer still. And I don't know every single piece of English vocabulary. No one does. But the
Oh,
more we
yeah.
can get, the
Mm,
more we can gradually get, the more we'll understand. Like if we talked about science, I have no clue.
mm,
Science is
yeah.
not my thing, yeah. But
Hmm.
it's those conversations where maybe we're not used to. Me too. That's where it's difficult. So just keep trying your best. You're doing fantastic. So keep doing that, bringing
Thank
it
you.
on, and then
Yeah.
you'll be fine. I promise you. You're doing great.
Mm, yeah. Okay. I know it takes time. Nobody's perfect, but it's just like I'm curious about why advanced, intermediate, and then yeah.
But
Ooh.
they may have been they may be practicing for 10 years. They may be
Mm,
doing they may be doing a Sabrina who does like 8 hours a day on the app. So
yeah.
we have to think about that kind of thing. We're in different shoes. All of us have different lives. So don't compare.
Mhm.
Just do as best as you can for yourself. Yeah.